everyone, I'm Lisa.
I'm Lori.
And thanks for joining us for a weekly challenge chat.
Yes.
We're here to talk to you about some of the challenges in the Facebook cross-stitch community that you can partake in. And the first one we talk about is a closed group. You can't join, but we have a lot of people that are enjoying playing along with us. So they get a bit upset when we don't do a video. Sorry about that. It was real life for me, and Laurie went on holidays. Where'd you go, Laurie?
Oh, Disney World.
There's no stitching or videoing. When you're in Disney World, it's far too busy.
Yeah.
So let's start with the daily 30. We've got the one that is underway from, currently underway. It's been going for a week.
Yes.
Yep. What do we got?
Spring equinox. And it is coming up right now. So the stitch count for spring equinox is 300 stitches for 4 tokens or 400 stitches for 6 tokens. And of course, if you do alternate stitches, just add 100 stitches and claim the token value you're stitching for. The first prompt up is stitch on a whip containing numbers. If numbers do not appear in your stitching, be sure to include a cover photo. Sorry, if numbers do appear in your stitching, be sure to include a cover photo. What they're basically saying is cover photo if you're not stitching on the number itself. Like it doesn't appear in your work in progress.
Yes, fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, my number piece is lucky. My temperature bookshelf. I have made a decision, this comes in a bit later, but I'm not going to do the daily 35 days on this piece anymore because it keeps being useful for prompts. And I'd get more tokens stitching it for prompts. So you can see it's got 2022. They're numbers.
There you go. I am doing a similar strategy in that O Feathers has the date in the bottom with the initials and it's charted. So there you go, numbers.
Numbers, beautiful.
Second prompt is stitch on a whip with something uneven. Be sure to explain your choice.
All right, had a lot of things that were, hold on. Miss Christmas Eve, her dress is very uneven. There's nothing even about it around that Christmas tree and all those bows and tinsel. So I think Miss Christmas Eve is uneven.
Here you go. I am doing Nevermore for the uneven border here. It doesn't start and stop at the same part of the motif. And you can see how it dips in and out. And even this part up here looks a little bit inset from the bottom. So it's uneven to me.
As long as you explain it, I'll accept it.
That's right. Prompt number 3, stitch on a whip with something new or fresh. Be sure to explain your choice. The graders are looking for that.
Right, well, my choice for this one is Kringles. Kringles is new and fresh because it was a new chart that I bought on a new piece of fabric I dyed. First time I'm doing the chart using the entire newly bought classic Colorworks weeks, whatever they are, fancy flossers. Plus that shop is full of new toys. So surely that fits.
Yes. I am doing the February gnome. It is new because this was my newest whip that I've started, the only start that I've had this year. So that's why it's new for me.
That's new.
Yep. Prompt number 4, stitch on a whip that reminds you of spring. Be sure to explain your choice.
Okay, this one was tough because I'm not stitching a lot of spring things at the moment, being autumn in Australia. Strawberry fields. There are lots of flowers and fruit, and flowers and fruit remind me of spring.
Very true. So of my whips, I'm showing my whole whip list just because I actually use my monthly pass for this, my free pass for this prompt. I have Language of Flowers, but flowers typically aren't this mature in the spring. I could also possibly go with my March gnome because spring begins in March and March gnome. So
that would work.
yeah. All right. Prompt number 5, stitch on a whip with a broom or something egg-shaped.
Okay, this one got me too, but I finally found it. My Cuore de Baticore lavender farm, it's hard to see, but in here, there is actually egg shapes on that vase.
Oh yeah.
Take my word for it because it's hard to see it that zoom in, but they're like part of the decoration are oval egg shapes.
Got it. I am showing Nevermore again, and I was trying to focus on this whip, by the way. But if you look at that O right there, it's very egg-shaped.
It's an egg, definitely.
Yes.
Well done.
Yeah. Then prompt number 6 is stitch on a style of your choice. Be sure to include the hashtag or a screenshot if it's a Facebook style or designer style.
All right, well, you know what mine is, but here we are. I actually belong to the cross stitch now.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's getting there, and I've already got my next sale lined up to work on when I finish this one. So I'm loving having this opportunity. It's twofold. One, the people I'm doing this sale with, we meet together in person on Zoom every Thursday night and we stitch on it mostly. And secondly, having it as this 10-point bonus prompt, it's like, yep, I can do that.
Definitely. Well, I am still working on my March gnome. And this is the gnome if you're new to us. And it's a gnome of the month, Sal. So there you go. And of course, the daily 30s passed, but that would be the 7th prompt for the week.
And just because I normally would show you this in this stage, but I've decided not to do it, but I was still doing it at this stage. This is where my temperature bookshelf is up to. And you can see I've added to it because, you know, there's not a lot of stitches in the books, which is another reason why it's challenging to do it as a daily 30, because, you know, 20 stitches is not 30 minutes for me. So I've got a key up here of what color is what stitches, and I added myself a nice heading saying stitches. So that's where it's at. So you'll keep seeing it, but not as a daily 30.
Yes, gotcha. I can show my progress, I believe, if you want to see.
Yeah, let's do that.
I will do it. It'll be my Facebook post because I'm not as prepared as Lisa with her whip right there. So this is where I'm at. He's almost finished. His whole torso and head is done. So I'm working my way around the top of his hat. And it ends about right there. So I'm really, really, really close.
Ah, gee, he looks good. But they're a lot trickier than they looked, aren't they?
They really are. They really are. There's a lot more colors than you think. It looks like there's big blocks of colors. There's a lot of subtle shading in there. But it's a good chart. They look really good when they're done. Yep. So what's next, Lisa?
Well, we've got the next week. We've got the Hadrian's Wall week.
Yes, that just came out.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So we can give you, so that one that we've just talked about, you've got a week left to do it, and the daily 30s passed for that. But this one we're talking to you about now, you've still got plenty of time to do your 5 daily 30s in the week, and everything else clicks over. So yes, this is going to be interesting.
Yes. So the stitch counts this week are very generous. 100 stitches for 2 tokens, 200 stitches or 2 hours for 4 tokens.
Nice one.
It is. Now the SAL, we don't mention it very often, but the SAL prompt number 6 for every week is 10 tokens. So that's very valuable. And the daily 30. If you do all 5 days for the daily 30, it's all or none, and that's 5 tokens. Okay. So prompt number 1. Oh, I don't have them expanded. Stitch on a whip you can relate to walking or hiking.
Okay. I'm wondering, because you know how I'm focusing on my pieces and it's getting towards the end of the month, and I've pretty much got this week left to finish all my monthly goals, and I still have a few of them to do. So I'm trying to push things into it. But I feel if I went walking in the woods, I could stumble across a gingerbread house a la Hansel and Gretel. So that's my attempt of walking and hiking for that one.
Got it. My attempt for walking and hiking will be Cozy Cove. These ladies down here, to me, because there's no vehicles or anything around, they're clearly walking around town. And it would be a good hike to hike up to the lighthouse there. So
would.
that's walking and hiking. Mhm. Prompt number 2, stitch on a whip with a border.
Okay, well, I don't have too many with a border at the moment, but I've got a goal to try and finish Strawberry Fields,
Mhm.
and it definitely has a border. So Strawberry Fields is going to get a bit more love.
Got it. So for me, I've showed it many times. Nevermore has a border, and I will be stitching on, I'm getting really close to the top one. I'll show it again because I love it. I'm right here where I'm stitching, and I'm almost to that top border. So it has a border.
Mm.
Stitch on a whip you consider to be your stronghold. And what they mean by that is it's your go-to whip or your go-to floss or type of fabric, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, this takes in my new little strategy really well. I go to my temperature bookshelf every couple of days to keep it up to date. It's stitched on a nice piece of paddock lane even weave, which is my favorite fabric, and I'm using Silks for You, which is my favorite type of silk thread.
Yes, for my stronghold, it is Nevermore again. And it's not this pattern in particular, although I love Lila Studio patterns, but it's solid colors, really big blocks of solid colors. So that's one color, that's one color. It's on my favorite type of fabric, which is 40 count linen. And I just fly when I stitch on that versus some of my other pieces, which I do love, but there's a lot of color changes. And so it just slows me down.
Awesome.
So number 4, stitch on a whip that you can relate to home.
2 reasons. 1, I live in a red brick house. 2, I have strawberries growing outside.
That one's a hard one for me, because none of my whips remind me of Texas.
No, but do you have a garden gnome in your garden?
No, I don't. We have a very minimalist landscaping plan, so there's not a lot of tending. It's shrubs and plants that don't, they're like native, so they don't need a lot of help.
Well, go back to your whip list. Show us your whip list.
That's a good idea. And this is good brainstorming because normally I have this pre-thought out, but I don't now. So,
So, well, can I just say for starters, the first thing I would see is, I was actually thinking Cozy Cove.
Oh, okay.
Because it's got houses in it and people and family.
That's true.
So
and
one of those little cottages could be your home. I know that the area is not Texas. I get that, but you could weave a story for that. Okay, go back. I've got a few more stories for you.
Okay.
Same with the As the Leaves Turn. Same story for that. Plus, in Texas, you probably do get autumn leaves.
Yes, we do.
But also Dreaming a Klimt. When I saw that, I instantly think, is that your daughter?
Yes.
Right? Because it's just,
that's true.
That's what came to mind for me. It's like, is that a portrait of your daughter?
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a couple of options for you. Now, if it was me, I'd be doing your Anzac.
Oh, that's true. Very true.
You can't do that.
No. So stitch on a whip that features a source of light.
There is a sun in my gingerbread manor.
A very happy sun, yes.
Very happy sun, yes.
Yeah, I don't have suns, but a source of light doesn't have to be. Nevermore has a moon. That's a source of light at night.
Yes.
So
do that.
would
and I'll get you more stitches on your Nevermore.
There you go. Or if you have a flame or a candle or something like that, that could be it.
There you go.
Okay.
And then the salmon stuff, and we've done all that.
That's right. So we're done.
Fantastic. So hopefully that helped you people a bit. Okay, the next one that we talk about that's a weekly challenge group is the Mythological Stitchers. And remember, they do monthly and weeklies. So for this week's weekly, it is called the Anjana, the Spanish Cantabrian. I really am enjoying learning about it. It's one of the best known fairies of Cantabrian mythology. I'm not going to read you all the things, but they're good fairies, generous and protective of all people. So it's nice to have some mythological creatures that are kind and good, not just evil. All right, number one, stitch on a piece that includes a fairy or something with wings. I got wings.
Yes.
You got any
For
wings?
me, Nevermore.
Yes, wings
The
on
raven
Nevermore.
has wings.
A forest or a source of water. I got both in there.
Same, Cozy Cove. There's the ocean and there's a good bit of trees in there.
Now the next one you're going to love, a village or that shows at least 3 buildings. So there's your Cozy Cove.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this one, but maybe I'm doing all my little house neighborhoods as all 9 on the one piece of fabric. So I could possibly try and do that because there's more than 3 houses.
Sure.
And stitch on a project with a rose or on a project that is primarily purple, green, blue, or gold.
Yeah.
I have a rose. I also have got this month, where is it? It's hiding from me. Well, predominantly green. Or predominantly purple.
Yeah, that's true. You have lots of choices.
Yeah. And for you,
March gnome, he's green and gold. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so that's the Mythological Weekly. We will now move on to what's happening this week in some of the other groups. So what do you want to tell us about, Laurie?
Well, one of the things I'm really enjoying this month is the semisane wheel letters of fortune. I'm about to say Wheel of Fortune. And I'm on my 3rd puzzle, but I'm just really enjoying it. I love word stuff, word games and things like that. So that, and what else am I doing?
NoNewStarts.
NoNewStarts. Yes, there is the shop hop. So Lisa, I would be really appreciative of some hints or some explanations on the shop
what's
hop.
happening. So as we've been doing the travel and you've been getting to your shops, normally you've been tagging Jamie, Carla and I in the shopping thread, and we roll the dice and we tell you what you buy, and you do that in your shopping. The shop hop is a separate event. So you have to actually join the event. It is, well, nothing is 100% compulsory, but you're going to miss out if you don't do it. So the shop hop has to be done in the event. You can't do it on your normal thread. And what it is that we are going to visit multiple shops over a few days, and a whole bunch of different things. We also have got one of our moderators from the group. She is actually traveling around the area of the shop hop at the moment, and she's giving us daily updates on the different shops she's videoing and showing us. It's so cool to be able to bring it to life. So thank you for that, Crystal. So beforehand, you basically just stop where you are and move to the event. You make a post and you say for all 5 shops, the stitches required. So I've got to do 2,050 stitches because I'm a hotel hopper. Laurie, you got to do 1,300 because you're a luxury RV. Correct. 650 for a caravan or 350 for a tenter. And you can do those stitches in any combination you want, on any number of whips you want. There's no anything. You just post your start and you finish, you start and you finish, you start and finish till you reach that number. When you have done that, you then there'll be random posts, and there's going to be different random prizes that have already been coming out. But when you've finished your whole amount of things, then Carla or I'll come through and sweep and tell you the 5 items you got. And then you go back to your main thread and do your shopping like normal.
So I'm assuming that you know to come sweep us because we've updated our main post with our total number of stitches. And so that's how you know we're done.
Pretty much, yes. And we always need you to update that top bit because that does tell us, because it takes a long time to scroll through everyone's comments. And also, let me finish on this. So then you update it on your travel and continue where you are pretty much. But wait, there's a bonus. There's an extra shop for 200 stitches. And I believe there's also a shop hop. You can divide your number of actual shopping good stitches in half. So if you get a chatelaine, you pay 250 instead of 500.
Nice. So is there any traveling to get to the shop hop event or to leave the shop hop event?
I believe not. I think you just start the event and finish the event. It just pops right in where you are. And it only lasts for this week, so you need to get onto it.
Got it.
So pause your other travels, jump across to the event, do the event, and enjoy the benefits. One of the best things I'm enjoying about the road trip is that it is full of twists and turns and surprises. You know, you have your basics, you know what you're doing, but then something always comes up to keep it interesting.
Got it.
You know, and as always, if you're having a bad time and real life's getting in the way, reach out to one of the admins and let us know. And we can, there's now a parking garage. You can actually park your vehicle in the parking garage for as long as you need to. But you park there and then we know we don't have to worry about you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I'm going to say about No New Starts is a plea as a shopping marker. Please, please, please like the post when you see your regular shopping. When you see that we have given you a DMC skein, like the post so we can clear that thread up, because we are about to start penalizing you. It's taking us too long and we're having to scroll through too many posts that people haven't remembered to like the post. So as soon as you read it and you see that you got rolled a DMC, like it, and then it will disappear. If not, you're going to start losing that DMC and you won't get it. It'll get removed from you. So please, please, please don't leave your purchases on the counter.
Got it.
Any
Sounds fair.
other questions with that? It's going to be fun. So yeah, just a weekly interlude, something different to do.
Yes. I appreciate that because there's a lot of work that goes into these little special jaunts. So I appreciate that.
Yes. We've got a special jaunt happening in Utopia at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the middle of a big rainstorm sort of thing, and we've had to do a whole bunch of things to work it out. A lot of it's done on luck, rolling the dice. We only had a couple of us go out and get wet, which was good. So, and we dried off really quickly. So that was really nice. Chopped a whole bunch of wood. And now, what are we doing now? Have you caught up with what we're going to next?
Yes, we are having to get water. So it's kind of like a relay. So one teammate stitches so many stitches, then they pass it on to the next, to the next. So it takes a good bit of teamwork and communication to get this right.
Yeah, I will enjoy that. I'm looking forward to getting back to stitching after the video and joining in on that relay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I think that's pretty much all we're actively doing this week. So have a good week, people, and we will catch up with you on Friday or Saturday Australian time for the monthly.
Yes.
All right.
Coming soon.
Bye.
Bye.